Hey everybody, Mike here with Backpacking TV. How you like my new place? I'm still setting it up, okay? It's gonna take a little bit of work. You'll notice I'm not nailing boards to the wall like I did in the old one, because I probably took a chunk out of my deposit. So today we're gonna talk about Scotland and why it's so awesome to hike in Scotland. This is a new thing I'm gonna be doing. I think one of the biggest strengths of this channel is that it's so tied to the Epic Trails TV show, airing on PBS, Apple TV Plus, Discovery, and quite a few more. We go to all these really cool locations and we get this incredible footage, and I'm able to use it some in equipment reviews, but I don't know, I just haven't really dove into the footage and like made videos where like that's like the big primary thing that the video has going for it, is this incredibly well captured cinematography. So what I'm gonna do is, when I come back from a really cool location, I'm gonna make a video like this, where I talk about all the stuff that I loved about going there. Just a super positive video. It's not gonna be as in-depth as some of the guides I might make that tell you exactly what time of year to go and what kind of gear to bring. This is just gonna be more of like a 5 to 10 minute gush session about particular locations all over the world. And the first one I want to do is on Scotland. So let's talk about why it's so great. So Scotland is hands down one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. I'm from East Tennessee and I still live in the American South. So I'm always in awe of like big, sweeping landscapes. You just don't really get them that much. I got some in California, but everything so far just kind of pales in comparison to what you get in the Scottish Highlands. And there's so much variety between the landscapes. So like one minute you're down by the lochs and you're in these dense forests, like it looks straight out of a fairy tale. And then you come out of the forest and all of a sudden you're just surrounded by this almost like alien view. It's like you're on a different planet. It's super cool. You've got some of the big glens up there. You know, you've got Glencoe, which is the famous one where they filmed Skyfall. I got to be where James Bond was. It was super cool. They did a bunch of filming for Harry Potter up there. And you can see why they choose these locations. I mean, they're just absolutely gorgeous. As for the hiking trails themselves, everything, especially along the West Highland Way, is just really well manicured. You're never gonna get into super steep ascents. You get like really nice rolling hills out there with really big views. And some of the sections of the trail are gonna be much more crowded, especially around areas like Loch Lomond, but then you get just a few miles away from that, down into the woods, and all of a sudden, nobody. So there's huge sections of trail where you'll just be entirely on your own. One thing I like about how Scotland and I think the whole of the UK works is they've got this right to roam thing. So you see these trails that pass through private land, because right to roam is a big deal. You know, they want to make sure that people have the ability to explore the countryside. And people just do, respectfully. You'll be walking through other people's farms. Like there will be like goats and sheep and cows and stuff, and you're just waltzing through somebody's farm. Feels kind of strange, but you get used to it after a while. So respect is a big thing in that culture, because obviously you're on somebody else's land. You don't want to be disrespectful. Camping is also super easy out there. I didn't get to do it on my trip, unfortunately, but it would have been awesome because the weather was so good. With the right to roam, you also kind of have the right to camp. There's going to be specific sections of the trail where camping isn't allowed during specific times of the year. And when I say the trail, I'm talking about the West Highland Way. There's plenty of other trails out there, but there's sections along like Loch Lomond where you're not allowed to camp during certain months, but they do have designated campsites for the people that do want to camp. You've just got to apply for a permit. So know the rules before you go there. But camping, it seems to be pretty darn easy. The food. I thought I was gonna die the entire time I was in Scotland, because they feed you massive portions. We stopped at a ton of restaurants. I got the haggis any chance I could get, because haggis is delicious and you should absolutely try it. But man, do they just feed you a lot of food down there. You'll get these plates that feels like they weigh like 6 pounds. It's the best. People love their beer too. There's so many cool pubs where you can stop and get a pint. A lot of historic places, so you'll see some newer stuff mixed in with, pubs that are older than the oldest buildings in the United States. So the people in Scotland, probably my favorite part of the whole trip, which was a surprise. People are typically pretty cool wherever you go, but I was not expecting Scottish people in general to just be that funny. Everybody in Scotland is funny, and it blew me away. It's like wit is a class they teach in elementary school, because everybody's just really sharp, and they'll poke fun at you too. Like you'll get made fun of in Scotland, but I mean that in like the best possible way. It's nothing mean-spirited. It's just like they just kind of poke at each other over there. They're very, very witty people. I don't like using the word sarcastic, because I think as an American, we kind of have like an idea of sarcasm as like a super low form of humor. But I think theirs is a little more refined. It's very refined sarcasm. Incredibly funny people, incredibly warm and welcoming people. And it was the biggest shock of the trip for me, was just how much I enjoyed sitting down and talking to complete strangers at pubs, and just how easy that was. I'm a friendly guy, I talk to people, but it's rare that I'll just like slide into a 40-minute conversation with a total stranger. But over there, it's just one of those things that kind of happens, Like you'll just be talking to somebody for a very long period of time. And speaking of very long period of time, something else I like about it, it's just how slowly paced everything is. When you sit down to eat, you're kind of expected to be there for a while. And I've heard that's just kind of a European thing. People don't like rush through their lunch like we do here. But yeah, you sit there for a hot minute. Everybody just sits around the table and talks. It's very social, very laid back. Used to things being like go, go, go all the time. But over there, it's not go, go, go. It's slow, slow, slow all the time. That was a dumb joke, but you see what I'm saying. It is just an extremely laid back culture of extremely funny people. On the show, I spend so much time talking about hiking, and you don't often get to experience too much of like the urban life, but when I was in Scotland, I got to do a lot of that. Not my cup of tea. I don't really like places like that as much. What I did like is I like the small little towns that we went to, like, Kinlochleven, Rowarden, and Fort William, much more metropolitan than like the little places, but so you do have those dense European cities, if that's your cup of tea. You got Glasgow, you got Edinburgh. These are really beautiful, amazing, historic places. And if you don't mind a little bit of a traffic jam, then awesome. It was an awesome time. And I got to bring my dad, which was just so much fun. It was the trip of a lifetime. I get to go to a lot of really cool places, but it was very special to be able to have my dad there with me and have him sharing all that. It was just such a good trip, filled with so many nice people and such incredible food. And the culture of Scotland is just so alive. Like, you see a lot of kilts, you hear a lot of bagpipes. There's so much history. Ruined castles, old pubs, just these historic locations that are still fully functional businesses. It's really, really cool, and I highly recommend you go to Scotland and check it out. It's up there on my vacation list for sure. Logistically, it's not that hard to get to. There's just so much to explore and so much to do. It's one of those places that I will be going back to just in my own spare time. So yeah, that's Scotland, and that's why it's so great, and that's why you should go there. And I will catch you all later. I'm Mike with Backpacking TV. See ya.